All right, good morning, everybody. It's great to be here. I want to welcome Steve Schweck, who is the CEO of RPM Pizza, otherwise known as Domino's, PlayNOLA, Nike, who has been a great sponsor of ours, my dear friend, DJ Wild Wayne from Q93, Charles West, who's the director of our innovation delivery team and oversees everything that we know as NOLA for life, and our midnight basketball participants and alumni. I'm really thrilled that everybody's here for us to announce the kickoff of midnight basketball season 10. When we came together some years ago, we talked about changing the culture of violence into a culture of life in the city of New Orleans. And we were going to do that in a bunch of different ways. Create jobs, work on reforming the criminal justice system, make sure that our young men had opportunities in the city of New Orleans, creating Strive NOLA, recreating the recreation department, because people always said, man, Mayor, if folks have a place to go, and there's a way for us to learn through competition the great values of hard work, perseverance, civility, but at the same time finding a way to win, we got to make that happen too. And with NORD, we have completely reconstructed the recreation department. One of the things that brings reducing violence together with producing the kind of values that people need so that they can maintain jobs and at the same time creating a culture of life and peace is midnight basketball. Because we needed to reach out to our young men in the city that needed an opportunity to come together in fellowship, learn through competition, and then hear from experts in the fields, which is what we do all the time for midnight basketball, inspirational stories about how to go from nowhere to how to go from somewhere. And so one of the things that I'm really thrilled about is how well NOLA for Life has partnered with midnight basketball. And we have some young men with us today that are great examples of why midnight basketball has been a great way to take young men and to give them great opportunities, if for nothing else, just fellowship, getting to know each other, and bringing the city into peace. We have seen the crime statistics. We have been working on making sure that we reduce murder in the city. Murder is down dramatically in the city of New Orleans, even though one murder is too many, and we still have way too much. We have, through NOLA for Life, reduced the chances that young people are going to be killed on the streets of New Orleans, and we are trying to find pathways to get that number even lower. Through today, this year, murder is down 50% from last year. The year before that, we hit the lowest number since 1971, and we have to keep driving that number down. And the way that you're going to do it is through a comprehensive approach, and NOLA for Life is a comprehensive approach. It gets on the front end of it, the middle end of it, the back end of it. And midnight basketball is one of the really aggressive strategies that we have used to make sure that we give our young men a great opportunity to have better choices in their life. And so as we stand here, over 10 seasons, we have provided safe space to our young men. We've impacted the lives of 75 young men and connected them to services and mentorship programs. So this is not just about basketball, it's about connecting them to greater opportunities. And we have a couple of examples here today. Matt Causey's here today. He was introduced to Strive at midnight basketball. He graduated for the first class of Strive, and now he works at Park and Parkways. Matthew, raise your hand so they can see. Also, Jeffrey Wilford, who I just talked to just a minute ago, who I remember talking to when he won. You're going to hear from him. Jeffrey was on the winning team last season, and he took the prize money that he was able to earn through winning to complete his security training. And now Jeffrey works at City Hall, providing security to these facilities. And now I'm trying to recruit him to be on the police department, but we're working on that. And so I'm really excited because we wouldn't be here. Again, I talk to people about the New Orleans way. They ask how New Orleans has become the nation's most immediate laboratory for innovation and change. And it's because we have a new way of doing business in New Orleans since Katrina. And that is creating partnerships. We have the government involved in it, we have the private sector involved in it, we have the faith-based community involved in it, we have the private sector involved in it. We can't do anything by ourselves, but we can do everything when we're together. And I am really thrilled here to be at Rosenwald, this brand new, massive investment in infrastructure that is not the way it was. We didn't build it back that way. We built it the way it always should have been. And this is a first-class facility that anybody in the country would be proud to be part of. So that's the first part of the public investment. And then, of course, our private sector sponsors, Nike, has been in town for a long time. When they came and said, Mayor, can I work with you? I asked them a question. I said, do you want to sell t-shirts or do you want to change lives? And they said, we want to change lives. I said, well, this is how corporate America can really invest themselves in the city. And of course, Nike helped us rebuild Joe Brown Park that plussed it up from a $7 million facility to a $23 billion facility. And then finally, and as importantly, we have had with us Domino's Pizza. And so I'm really proud that Steve is here with us. Glenn Mueller, who was a major help, came to us at a NOLA for Life function 2 years ago that we had. He came uninvited. He sat in the audience. He did not leave the entire time. And when it was over, he came up to me and he said, Domino's Pizza is a really important part of this community, and we want to get invested in a very, very big way. And Domino's Pizza has been the major sponsor for Midnight Basketball, and I am really thrilled that they continue to be with us, to work with us, because they understand, just like Nike does, that you can either sell pizzas and sell t-shirts, or you can help use corporate America to change lives. And that is a new way as well. And so these partnerships, public sector, private sector, everybody in, everybody taking responsibility, everybody getting opportunity, and then everybody using their opportunity to do better things for them in their life and to make the community better is the whole point. So when people deride Midnight Basketball like it's just a throwaway or it's just a chance for people to play basketball, that's not what it is at all. Basketball is just a means. The end is creating greater opportunity and creating a safer city. And Midnight Basketball, along with my friends from Ceasefire, who are also part of the NOLA for Life project, have demonstrated to the United States of America how to fix one of the most difficult problems in the country, and we're doing it better here than anywhere else in America. So I'm thankful, and I want to call up Steve Schwed, who's with RPM Pizza, otherwise known as Domino's, to speak. And Steve, just please receive the thanks from a very grateful city to Domino's for being a great corporate sponsor and not just selling pizza, but help change lives. Please help me welcome Mr. Steve Schwed.
On behalf of the Mueller family and Glenn Mueller, who couldn't be here today, we're just thankful that this partnership, and we have a great working relationship with the mayor's office and the NOLA Police Department. So we're just thankful to be part of this. The Mueller family's been in business with Domino's for over 35 years now, and we know how integral it is to be, part of this community, and we look here, to be here for a long time. So we're thankful, and we know we have a great group of people that we're working with, so we look forward to continuing.
Thank you. I'm also want to tell you that this can't happen without creating a partnership between the community and the police department. We see all this upset around the United States of America, and there is a disconnect between the two. And in this city, in the last 5 years, we have been connecting the community with the police. This morning on the way to work, I stopped over in a neighborhood. I saw one of our police officers from the 6th District, his name was Bob Pollard, who is the community officer in that area. Talked a lot about the neighborhood and talked about how the police department in the 6th District is communicating with the young men and women. Our commander is with us today, and I want him to come up and give a couple of words about the work that the 6th District is doing to connect the police department and the community, and they're part of NOLA for Life, and they're part of Midnight Basketball as well. Commander Ronnie Stevens.
I can say in the 6th District, we have a great working relationship with our citizens and with our organizational groups and neighborhood groups in the area, led by our Central City Partnership Association there. It really brings a great working environment together with our community people and with the police department in the 6th District. And as the mayor stated, our officer was around in the area this morning. He was already making connections early in the morning. We continue that on a daily basis. And the Midnight Basketball here at the Rosenwald Center, which is a beautiful facility that was built up again, is just another tool into that partnership that we work with the community. So we're looking forward to this event. Thank you.
Juan Wayne.
How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Wild Wayne from Q93. I'm just excited to be here because, it's been 10 strong seasons. This will start season number 11. And it's been hundreds and hundreds of young men that have come from all across the city to come play ball. And a lot of folks think it's just the ball thing, but they have some great resources. They have job opportunities, which the mayor hit on earlier. But also it's some camaraderie that goes on with these guys. And I had written something up, but I'm not gonna read the scripted part, but I was over on Basin Street last night by my guy Tiger's place, and a guy was just walking up the street. He was like, "Ain't you Wild Wayne?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am. I wasn't trying to be Wild Wayne." But he was like, "Man, I met you at Midnight Basketball." And I was like, "Well, where you coming from?" And he was like, "I'm coming from a job. I'm working over at Morton Steakhouse now." And he was like really excited to talk to me, but he was also excited to be a working guy. You know what I'm saying? He was like, "I don't know if I'm gonna come tomorrow. If I have to work, I'm not gonna be able to make it, but if I am, I'll be at Rosenwald." So like those little stories, like they stamp it with it being official and being a viable program. Shout out to all the guys that came and were guest speakers last year, because these were guys that had some serious life experiences. Some came from nothing to something. Started from the bottom, now we're here like Drake says. But these guys came and imparted their word on guys, and they looked like them, they walked like them, they talked like them, and at the end of the day, they were relatable, and they were stories of success. So I'm going off script a little bit here too. If the cameras are on, I want to encourage like not just ballers to come out, but families can come out. Other successful men can come out and, you know, come in parts of where you might just come pat a guy on the back and have a conversation with him. That means the world to these guys. So it's not just about basketball, but it's about ways that we can try and impart some great things on our young men, because I still believe most people are inherently good, and we got to keep doing the right thing out here. It's a great city, and let's continue to do the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As I said before, all of this is about partnerships. The New Orleans Pelicans are one of our great sponsors, and we thank them. They're not with us today. But the other partners standing behind me, PlayNOLA, North Sea, Louisiana Green Corps, everybody in. And so Wayne just made a comment. Lots of people who say, there's crime in the city. What can I do about crime? How can I help? One of the things you can do is make sure that the police department has all the resources they need, that New Orleans Recreation Department has everything that they need. And then one thing you can do is show up and participate. As Wayne said, what we're trying to do is give our young men and anybody else who wants it the opportunity to have constructive engagement. And guess what? It's a lot of fun. And so you should find somebody that you feel like needs something to do and bring them to Midnight Basketball. You should come yourself, because we have resources available to engage individuals and then to give them the opportunity to move to new things. And by the way, you can use a spectacular rec center. There are computers in the rec centers, there's workout equipment in the rec centers. In some of them, there are swimming pools in the rec centers. There are places where the community is supposed to congregate, meet each other, and then come up with ideas themselves for doing great things. And one of the most exciting things for me is when we have success stories about young men who not only have come and played, but listened to what the speakers have said to them, and then takes advantage of the resources, and then makes great decisions. I tell this to my kids all the time, and this is a universal truth. Good decisions equal good consequences. Bad decisions equal bad consequences. You can walk past opportunity every day and not take advantage of it, and you're going to be in the same place you were the day before. But if you open up your eyes and you open up your ears and you take advantage of what is in front of you, there's no reason why you can't do great things in your life. If you wanted to be an NBA basketball player, you don't need a gym nicer than this to learn how to play basketball, but you do have to come in here and practice. You do have to come in here and do the hard work. You do have to take advantage of the things that people give you, because the hard work is then on you. And this young man really made me proud. I had an opportunity to speak to him on the way in. I recognized him from last year, but as I said, he won last year and he won prize money. Now, how many people do you know would take that prize money and just go spend it? They would go put it on something that's not going to give you benefit going into the future and have a nice time with it, but it's going to be a short bit. This young man, right, took his seed corn and he planted it, and it grew and is growing into a big oak tree, and it's going to last for a long period of time. He put that back in his education. He put that back in his training. And because he was able to get a certificate, he was able to put himself in a position to take advantage of job opportunities that the city had, and is now providing security to the young men who were in his place years ago and is well on his way to a bright future. I want Jeffrey Wilford to come up, who is the winner of Midnight Basketball Season 10 and now the holder of a permanent job. Please help me welcome Mr. Jeffrey Wilford.
I'm only just a small part of the team. I'm on the team members right here, Christoph Walker. I would also like to thank him as well for even giving me the opportunity as well. But like the mayor said, this is only just a stepping ground. I hope and pray that more is coming. But I know a lot of people have kept asking, what did I get out of the midnight basketball? And only thing I really can say is like, what didn't I get from my midnight basketball? Won it, done that, took my seed, did what I had to do from there. Just like he said, the opportunities are there for you. You just gotta go out there and get them yourself. You know, especially in the time that we in now, a lot of people is just not really giving out handouts. But at least if you're brave enough to go out and take it and get it, you'll never know when you might be here from here.
Now this young man told me he's going to Xavier, going back to school and get his degree. He's going to be a baller. But after you finish doing that, you're going to be a doctor. Or you're going to be a pharmacist. Sports medicine. Because Xavier University produces greater graduates than almost anywhere else in the country. And these two young men are on their way too. So midnight basketball is not just a basketball game. It's a pathway to the future. It is an opportunity for people to grab onto, but everybody's got to, if they come and the opportunity is presented, they got to take advantage of it. They got to show up, they got to do the work, they got to listen to the advice and to the counsel, they got to take advantage of the resources that are here, and then they have to apply that, and then they just got to make it happen. So the city of New Orleans is a city of opportunity, and we are well on our way to moving from a city of violence into a city of peace, and midnight basketball is an important part. So I want to thank all of our partners for what you're about to do. I want to invite all of the citizens of New Orleans that have a concern about the future of the city to show up and be a part of it, because if you come and you help, we can expand the opportunities for more young men in the city, more job opportunities, less crime, safer city, and then consequently, huge investments from companies that want to come in and be part of a city that's winning. So God bless you all. Thank you so much. If the press has any questions, I'll do some pull-asides when we finish. All right? Thank you all so much. Congratulations.